Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown 205 Live results. For the week of February 26th, you got birthdays for 26th. James Mitchell turned 53 years old. Would have been the 93rd birthday of WWE Hall of Famer Vern Gagne. And 31st birthday of Reed Flair. Also, Pentagon Jr., who was born in 1985. February 28th birthday is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He was born in 1953. Norman Smiley was born in 1965. Masato Tanaka turned a year old. He was born in 1973. Rounding out birthdays, Lance Hoyt. He was born in 1977. Roman Reigns recently filmed an episode of Nickelodeon's Cousins for Life. At this link, Reigns stars as a man named Rodney, who is the father of another child. Reigns' character threatens to turn heel when his vegetable garden is dug up by a pet pig named Arthur. The episode, titled A Farewell to Arthur, will air Saturday, March 2nd, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 7:30 Central. As seen in the link, The Wrap has released an exclusive sneak peek of the episode with Reigns' appearance. Trish Stratus was recently advertised for Shreveport World of Wheels coming up in April, but has recently been removed. But Kelly and Tania Brooks, aka formerly known as Rebel, was advertised in her spots as celebrities, but nobody else has been advertised for, which nothing really matters other than a replica Optimus Prime, which is the 18-wheeler cab, and SpongeBob SquarePants, and a Minion. Trish Stratus also took to Twitter this week to reveal that her first WWE Network collection, and this link, will begin streaming on Monday, March 4th. Her official website has the full content listed for the collection. Again, go to that link. The collection begins with her debut in 2000 and ending with her career at the Hall of Fame induction in 2013. WWE did an angle on Raw, where Ronda Rousey laid the WWE Women's title and in front of her and demanded that Vince McMahon reinstate Becky Lynch from her suspension so they could have the match at WrestleMania 35. Becky was then arrested on the show for violating her suspension, and when she attacked Natalya with a crutch during the Rousey and Natalya versus Riot Squad match. And you can see some of the links and pictures of that at this link. Becky's arrest is first, and then Ronda Rousey's releasing her title. "2019 Hall of Fame video package for the Honky Tonk Man. Joins DX, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chyna, and X-Pac, Mr. Assman, Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg, B.G. James. As confirmed inductees for the 2019 class. The next inductee, probably next week, will be Taz. And in the following will probably be the last announced. Hart Foundation, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Bret Hart, and Jimmy the Mouth of South Hart are also rumored. And you go to that link. Former WWE Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, returned to action this week on SmackDown. From Charlotte, North Carolina, Hardy defeated The Bar and Cesaro and Sheamus in tag team action on SmackDown. WWE previously announced that Cesaro and Johnny Gargano, but the tag team match happened instead. Hardys haven't teamed since Jeff Hardy went to SmackDown in 2018 Superstar Shakeup. Matt would go on to win the Raw Tag Team titles with Bray Wyatt, but he has since been out of regular action since last summer. Dealing with injuries and healing up, Matt recently revealed that his WWE contract expires next week. Here are some photos and videos of the big return. There's like three links. And the Hardys return to WWE TV on SmackDown from Charlotte, defeating The Bar. Word going around backstage is that WWE invoked a clause in Matt Hardy's contract and Jeff Hardy's that will see the deals roll over for a third year. According to PW Insider, the contracts were set to expire next week if WWE decided against rolling them over. Hardy then did return to WWE at WrestleMania 33 in 2017 and signed a 2-year deal that including a third-year option. Noted back in January that it was believed that WWE would pick up that option, which includes a significant pay raise for the third year and then possible retirement. Batista took to Twitter to respond to the earlier warning from WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair after his beatdown of Flair backstage. Flair warned Batista after the Animal crashed his birthday bash on Raw and used Flair to send a warning to Triple H, presumably for a match at WrestleMania 35, as seen in these links here. As Batista tweeted a game over gift at the Nature Boy and wrote, "Party just getting started, my man," with an emoji. Ric Flair, Nature Boy, I want to thank WWE for throwing such a wonderful birthday celebration with some of my closest friends. As for Dave Batista, be careful whose party you crash, big man. Hashtag, woo! And Dave already told you what happened and the link for that. Just to see the gift. Batista was recently profiled by the Tampa Bay Times for a new piece that was released at this link for the former WWE champion making his return to WWE TV on Raw from Atlanta, crashing the 70th birthday celebration for Hall of Famer Ric Flair to send a message to Triple H. Batista versus Triple H is now expected for WrestleMania 35. Go to that link. It sounds like the upcoming ring return could be one of the last matches for the Animal. The Times noted that the match with Triple H at WrestleMania could allow Batista to close out his wrestling career the right way. Batista, who is coming off his biggest year in Hollywood, yet with several projects in the works, said he's eager and impatient for what's next. The Times talked about how often he addresses political and controversial topics on his Twitter account, and how he is aware that staying quiet in certain topics could mean a larger fan base for him. Batista said he's not interested in being one of those actors who make $20 million per year, per film, let's just say. That's just never going to be me. And that goes back to a feeling that I only need so much. I only need a certain level of security. I don't need to make $20 million a film. I don't even want $20 million a film. I wouldn't know what to do with it, he said. Batista said he does not want to be a great actor, which has nothing to do with being a movie star, such as The Rock. Batista said he would not consider the great one to be a great actor. He also said he's not interested in acting roles like Rock's Fast and the Furious or John Cena's Bumblebee characters. Rock was, in a way, a movie star before he was even a movie star. There is something about him that's really special. I'd never take that away from him, Batista said of The Rock. Would I consider him a great actor? If no, I want good roles. I don't care about Fast and Furious or Bumblebee. That's not the kind of stardom I want. I want to be in Dune. I want to work with Dennis Villeneuve. I want to work with Sam Mendes and Jodie Foster. I want to work the Academy Award winners, or with Academy Award winners. I'm proud to be a character actor. I want that respect and credibility and education. Batista then said he does not want to be compared to Rock and Cena. Everyone does it, and he hates it. Do not compare me to The Rock or John Cena. Everyone does it, he said. Those guys are wrestlers who become movie stars. I'm something else. I was a wrestler. Now I'm an actor. Regarding those controversial topics on Twitter, such as anti-Donald Trump rhetoric, Batista talked about being very Democrat these days. Batista said he was never a party guy because he was all about the candidate. But it got to where he felt like I had to pick a side. It's like war. I've come out. Every Democrat, but I do have some very conservative views too. Batista, who has a large firearm collection, said he strongly supports the right of citizens to bear arms after Parkland school shooting in February 2018. Batista thought about turning his AR-15 over to Tampa police, but he incorrectly heard that they don't do that. He decided to keep the gun, not wanting it to end up in the hands of another person. I'm pro-firearm, he said, but I don't think we need assault rifles. I'm fine giving mine up. Because if somebody breaks into my house, I'm not running to get my AR. I'm reaching on the side of my bed to get my 44. The article revealed that Batista recently separated from his third wife, but they do have plans to split custody of their pit bulls. It was noted that Batista is looking to retire from acting, possibly in 5 years, to then produce and direct movies. He's hoping to do a heartfelt indie movie this year, but he's also looking to land a big studio action movie because it could open doors to other things he really wants to do in Hollywood. And that his thing. WWF Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett has for the second time amended his complaint against Impact Wrestling and its parent company Anthem in its United States District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee at Nashville, according to PW Insider. Principally at issue is Anthem's destruction of the Global Force Wrestling Amped master recordings. In the legal discovery process, Anthem revealed that it had destroyed the original master tapes of Jarrett's self-proclaimed GFW Amped series. Anthem officials informed Jarrett in November 2018 that the tapes were deleted in the normal course of business. Long prior to the onset of this litigation, in order to free up storage space on Anthem's wrestling systems, Jarrett argued that the destruction of these tapes constitutes a $4.8 million loss insofar as his 16 hours of video, valued at $300,000 per hour, long episode, now cannot receive copyright protection. Counsel for Jarrett wrote, the last remaining step in the restoration process is submission of deposit copies, which Jarrett cannot provide to the Copyright Office due to Anthem and Impact's unlawful possession and or deletion of the only master recordings of the 16 one-hour GFW Amped videos. Anthem and Impact admit that the master recordings were deleted while in their custody and no longer exist. So that's proof of destruction of property. Jarrett and Company aver that Anthem and Impact have engaged in unfair, deceptive, or fraudulent conduct, which is likely to cause, if not already, customer confusion in violation of Tennessee common law, and also make an equitable claim of unjust enrichment at common law. Under the Tennessee Consumer Protection Act, Jarrett et al. Argued that Anthem and Impact have violated and, upon information and belief, continue to violate Jarrett's exclusive rights in the GFW Amp content and the 16 associated copyrights, including but not limited to the right to reproduce, right to prepare and sell derivative works, and right to vend by copying, publishing, distributing, and publicly displaying in a marketplace in this district and in all marketplace reached by the internet. Videos that were copied or otherwise derived from the GFW Amped content. Also, of note in the second amended complaint is Jarrett's claim that Anthem has no intention of working with Jarrett again and is not currently providing any entertainment services, namely wrestling exhibits and performances by a professional wrestler and entertainer under his name, nor is the company providing wrestling news and information via Global Computer Network under his name. Similarly, Jarrett's new court filings note that Anthem is not currently using Jarrett's name for action figures or toys and has no interest to resume such use. Presumably, the above claim paves the way for WWE to license and use Jarrett's name and likeness going forward, in addition to seeking a ruling that Anthem's trademark on Jarrett's name be returned to him. Jarrett now seeks damages of nearly $5 million. A new WWE Now video at this link with Cassie Kelly looking at some of the heartfelt messages Roman Reigns received on social media after making his big return on Raw. In this next video here, the link, at a wedding reception, the bride's ex showed up and tried to get her to leave with him, trying to get him back, trying to stop the marriage. The groom, Nick, put a stop to things by chokeslamming him through a table. I haven't seen a video to see if the table actually broke. There was an injury scare at Saturday's Raw live event in Tupelo, Mississippi on Saturday as Drew McIntyre appeared to have suffered a knee injury in his match against Dean Ambrose. After McIntyre hit Ambrose with a Claymore kick, the referee threw up the X signal, indicating that McIntyre was injured. McIntyre was limping and was helped to the back. He is apparently fine as he wrestled at the Raw live event in Montgomery, Alabama, once again defeating Ambrose. Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey added another skill to her repertoire last week as she had some Bhangra dancing with the Singh brothers as seen at this link. Impact Wrestling announced that after each Friday episode, replays of the show will air on Twitch at 6 p.m. every Monday. It is also available to everyone on demand on Global Wrestling Network every Tuesday. Justin LaBar joined Nick to break down the news of the past 5 days, including Roman Reigns announcing he is in remission from his leukemia battle, and this is on the Weekly Podcast. And this link. Also, Batista's heinous return on Raw. Arn Anderson's reported WWE release. Yeah, he was fired. WWE officially releasing 3 superstars. I haven't seen the names yet, but they are released. Steve Corino becoming a WWE agent. If you're not familiar with ECW, there you go. Who was also, he went to Ring of Honor. Bruce Pritchard being rehired. The former Brother Love. To the WWE creative team. An update on rumored WrestleMania plans for the WWE Championship. Matt Hardy's contract coming up soon. Next interview with AEW Executive Vice President Cody, which includes Cody discussing how he is recovering from injury, the decision to launch AEW, recording record-breaking sellout that they had in Vegas. Probably going to have another record sellout for number 2. All or Nothing. Arn Anderson's reported release. He also talked about it. His friendship with newly released WWE superstar Ty Dillinger. So I guess he did get his release. There's one superstar. How AEW may handle their developmental system. And the latest on AEW's TV deal. And Billy Gunn as their first producer. Co-promotional shows between NJPW and Ring of Honor. Honor Rising took place earlier in the day. And yesterday, 2-day event. Briscoes defeated Juice Robinson and David Finlay to retain the Ring of Honor World Tag Titles. After the main event, Briscoes challenged the Gorillas of Destiny to a title versus title match at G1 Supercard in April. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa will come out and accept the challenge. And here are the full night 2 results. I'm going to do them backwards. 2 and then 1. Toa Hanair versus Jonathan Gresham Toa Hanair and Jonathan Gresham defeated Zack Sabre Jr. and Taka Michinoku. Marty Scurll defeated Robbie Eagles. You could call him Robbie E, but is that copyright? Colt Cabana and Toru Yano defeated Delirious and Cheeseburger. Will Ospreay and Hiroku Goto defeated Jeff Cobb and Dalton Castle. Tetsuya Naito and Shingo Takagi defeated Matt Taven and Vinny Marseglia. Jay Lethal, Black Machismo, defeated TK O'Ryan and Ring of Honor. That was to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. Gorillas of Destiny defeated Sonata and Evil for the IWGP Tag Team titles. The Gorillas, the Briscoes, defeated Juice Robinson and David Finlay for your Ring of Honor World Tag titles. On the previous day, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kazuchika Okada, and Jay Lethal defeated the Kingdom of Matt Taven, Vinny Marseglia, and TKO Ryan in the main event. And here are the full results from Night 1. Marty Scurll defeated Ren Narita. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Shota Umino. Jason Thunder Liger and Jonathan Gresham defeated Taiji Ishimori and Robbie Eagles. Juice Robinson, David Finlay, Tomoaki Hanma, and Toa Henare defeated Tama Tonga Loa and Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe. Togi Makabe, Toru Yano, and Ryusuke Taguchi as champion defeated Cheeseburger, Delirious, Colt Cabana for your never open 6-man tag titles. Will Ospreay as champion defeated Dalton Castle for your never open weight championship. Jeff Cobb as champion defeated Hiroki Goto for your Ring of Honor TV championship. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kazuchika Okada, and Jay Lethal defeated the Kingdom of Matt Taven, Vinny Marseglia, and TKO Ryan. Ring of Honor episode 387. Ian Riccoboni, Caprice Coleman, and Colt Cabana checked on commentary after the usual Ring of Honor signature video package. Chris Sabin and Luchasaurus are already in the ring with Flip Gordon, Rick Titus, Shane Taylor, and Kenny King on the apron in the corners as the referee calls for the bell to start the match and open the show. 6-man Mayhem match. Luchasaurus versus Chris Sabin versus Rick Titus versus Shane Taylor versus Kenny King versus Flip Gordon. I wonder if he's Flash Gordon's brother. Character. Sabin strikes the Luchasaurus. Sabin drop kicks the knee of the Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus connects with a series of kicks to Sabin. Taylor eventually connects with a forearm to Luchasaurus from the apron. Taylor flipped onto the King and Titus at ringside from the apron. Luchasaurus then hit a springboard senton from the top rope to the outside on Taylor, King, and Titus. Gordon hit a senton from off the balcony on Luchasaurus. Titus and Taylor. Gordon rolled Taylor into the ring. Gordon nails a 450 splash on Taylor. King pulls Gordon out of the ring during a pin attempt on Taylor. Gordon strikes King and goes back in the ring. Gordon attempts a springboard. King strikes him with a chair. Referee ejects King from the match. Disqualification. Luchasaurus rolls Taylor into the ring. Taylor strikes Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus hits a spin kick on Taylor. Titus connects with his knee strike to Luchasaurus. Titus with a Samoan drop on Taylor. Taylor connects with his knee strike to Titus. Taylor hits a greetings from 216 finisher on Titus. Taylor pins Titus for the win. So Shane Taylor won the match. Marcus Cross and Griff Garrison make their entrance. The Bouncers, Beer City Bruiser, and Brian Malonis make their entrance. Bouncers versus Marcus and Griff. Malonis and Cross lock up. Malonis pushes Cross to the mat. Garrison tagged in. Malonis pushes Garrison to the mat. Garrison eventually connects with a boot to Bruiser. Garrison then strikes Malonis several times. Bruiser smashes Garrison in the corner. Malonis slams Garrison to the mat. Cross breaks a pin attempt by Bruiser on Garrison. Bruiser launches Cross into a power bomb by Malonis onto Garrison in the corner. Malonis hits a superplex on Garrison. Bruiser hits a frog splash on Garrison. Bruiser pins Garrison for the win. The Bouncers win the match. Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes, Mark and Jay, make their entrance. Chucky T makes his entrance. Beretta's not here due to a family emergency. But the report says Beretta introduces Colt Cabana as his partner for the night. Cabana's music hits and he joins Chucky T. Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match. The Briscoes, Mark and Jay, as champion versus Chucky T and Colt Cabana. Both teams brawl as the bell rings. Cabana eventually connects with an elbow strike to Mark. Mark connects with a boot to Cabana. Mark hits a bulldog on Cabana. Jay is tagged in. Jay stomps on Cabana. Cabana ducks a clothesline attempt by Jay. Jay runs towards Cabana in the corner. Cabana gets his boot up. Chucky tags in. Chucky then connects with several elbows to Jay. Chucky hits a standing slice bread on Jay. Chucky pins Jay for a 2 count. Jay rolls out of the ring. Chucky comes after Jay. Mark strikes Chucky. Cabana strikes Mark. Cabana sends Mark into the ringside barrier. Jay suplexes Chucky at ringside. I guess he's trying to say, "Hi, your name's Chucky. Want to play?" Jay sits Cabana on a chair. Mark with a blockbuster from the top. From the apron on Cabana, Chucky super kicks Jay in the ring. Jay clotheslines Chucky. Jay nails a Jay driver on Chucky. Jay pins Chucky for the win. I guess Jay told him he's through playing now. Winners of the match are still tag team champions, the Briscoes. Mark pulls the table out and sets it up at ringside after the match. Jay lays Chucky on the table as Mark ascends to the turnbuckles. Mark hits a Froggy Bow signature move on Chucky from off the turnbuckle through the table. A video package was shown recapping the formation of the Lifeblood stable featuring Juice Robinson, Bandito, Mark Haskins, David Finley, Tracy Williams, and Tennille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma from WWE. Ring of Honor World Champion Jay Lethal makes his entrance for an in-ring promo. Ian Riccaboni is in the ring with a microphone. Lethal tells Riccaboni that there is a lot on his mind, and he will take it from here. Riccaboni exits the ring. Lethal talks about there being so much pressure put on him, other than being Ring of Honor World Champion. Pressure's like watching the company that he loves deteriorate. Lethal then talks about Bully Ray and the Briscoes doing whatever they want. Lethal says that the worst part is that there is a man walking around with a fake belt, claiming to be the real Ring of Honor World Champion. Lethal talks about his soul crying for Ring of Honor. Lethal says that a change will happen in 2019. Lifeblood's Juice Robinson, Bandito, Mark Haskins, David Finley, Tracy Williams, and Tennille Dash will come out to the ring. Robinson has a microphone. Robinson says that they are speaking the same language. Lethal talks about the other guys feeling the same way in the back and says that he doesn't want to join the group. Robinson says that's respectfully. There was never an invitation. Lethal respects that. Lethal believes that they can do what's best for the company. Lethal praises the members of Lifeblood. Lethal wishes Lifeblood good luck. Robinson stops Lethal from making his exit. Robinson then talks about wanting to put Honor back in the Ring of Honor. Robinson challenges he's Lethal to find 4 partners for a 10-man tag against Lifeblood. Lethal then accepts the challenge. Lethal and Robinson shake hands as the show, as this one comes to a close. Dark match before SmackDown from the Spectral Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. Saw Heavy Machinery, Tucker, and Otis defeat the Colognes, Primo and Epico. SmackDown opened up live from the Spectral Center in Charlotte. Stephanie McMahon is in the ring with Shane, Daniel Bryan, and Rowan. The ring is set up for a contract signing with a table in the ring. Stephanie welcomes us to SmackDown. Shane says we're here for a historic contract signing. Stephanie plugs the WWE title match at Fastlane, and fans start chanting for Kofi Kingston. Shane starts talking Kofi up while clips play from various moments in his career, also giving shout outs to the New Day. Shane says perhaps we have overlooked Kofi, but no longer. They go on about Kofi for a few more minutes, with Stephanie talking about recent happenings that led to Kofi getting the WWE title shot at Fastlane. Shane goes on and introduces Kofi. Out comes the New Day. Kofi, Big E, and Xavier. Bryan looks on from his chair at the table, sitting down with his foot propped up on the table. Rowan stands behind him. Fans start chanting for Kofi. Tom Phillips welcomes us to SmackDown. He's joined in by Corey Graves and Byron Saxton. Kofi takes the mic and says this is all he's ever wanted, but after all these years, it's finally happening. He says none of this would be possible without his brothers, his boys. He poses with Big E and Xavier for a pop. Fans chant, "You deserve it." Kofi gives credit to the fans for making this happen for him. He addresses Bryan now and goes on about taking the WWE title from him at Fastlane. Kofi drops the mic on the table and taunts Bryan. Some fans chant Kofi's name. Shane calls Bryan to sign the contract, as he does. and some fans boo. Kobe goes to sign, but music interrupts, and out comes WWE Chairman Vince McMahon to a pop. But before that was actually signing, Kobe did like a lap and a half around the ring, giving high fives to the crowd, and even posing for pictures. But Vince applauds from the stage, takes the mic. He praises Kobe for his career and accomplishment. But he's more like downing him on him, calling him a truly remarkable. However, he says fans start booing because they know that he's going to take his title shot away. Vince says it's up to him as a chairman to give fans the biggest box office there is, the best competition. Vince says he's replacing Kobe with a man who is more deserving, more qualified. Vince then introduces Bryan to opponent for Fastlane, and out comes returning from injury Kevin Owens, who has been out since October following double knee surgery. New Day is not happy. Owens enters the ring and takes a seat at the table. Owens and Bryan stare each other down as the New Day yells behind them. New Day leaves the ring now, and fans aren't happy. Heck, I wasn't happy. I was surprised myself. Shane and Stephanie looked on. Fan chant for Kobe as the New Day heads up the ramp. Bryan and Owens continue staring each other down as we go to commercial. Back from the commercial, and Kevin Owens is with Shane and Stephanie McMahon backstage. He knows they weren't involved in what just happened, and they wonder how long he knew. Owens says he wants to tag with Kobe to face Rowan and Daniel Bryan later on in the evening. McMahon say that they will take it under consideration. I'm expecting a heel, saying heel and beatdown three-way on him, but stay tuned, see what happens. First match of the night, The Bar versus the Hardy Boys. Hardy's return. We go to the ring and The Bar awaits. Sheamus and Cesaro, they were set to face WWE NXT superstars, but the music hits, and that was none other than Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Music hits, and out comes the returning Hardy Boys instead, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. Jeff starts off with the Cesaro and ends up taking control. And by the way, Matt announced on Twitter that he possibly is going back to his, I guess, V1 character, because his latest Woken gimmick is over with. It's over! Matt works over Cesaro and does a delete chant. Cesaro catches Matt and takes him to the corner for a tag to Sheamus. Sheamus unloads on Matt in the corner. Matt turns it back around, and in comes Jeff for some double teaming. Cesaro runs in and they double team him. For a takedown, The Bar gets sent to the outside, to the floor. Jeff leaps out of the ring with an assist from Matt. Poetry in motion. Taking The Bar down on the outside, Hardy stand tall as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Sheamus is going at it with Jeff. Matt reaches for a tag, but Cesaro comes in and takes over. Cesaro keeps Jeff grounded. Sheamus comes in, and Jeff fights off the double team. Jeff takes them both down with a whisper in the wind. Matt rallies the crowd now. Matt tags in, as does Cesaro. Matt unloads and takes Cesaro to the turnbuckles. Matt signals for a delete chant, but Cesaro blocks the running bulldog. Matt with a side effect for a 2 count. Matt with a second rope elbow drop for another pin attempt. Matt plays to the crowd for another delete chant and drops Sheamus as he approaches. Cesaro avoids a twist of fate and rolls Matt up out of nowhere for a 2 count. As Sheamus gets a cheap shot in, The Bar tries to double team Matt, but Jeff runs in and drops Cesaro as Matt gets a 2 count off of that on Sheamus. Matt then drops Sheamus with a twist of fate. Jeff tags in and hits the Swanton Bomb to Sheamus for the big pop. Jeff covers for the pin and win. After the match, Matt and Jeff celebrate. As the music hits, we go to replays. So to come segment, Aleister Black and Rusev versus Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura. We see Ricochet and Black backstage talking when Lana appears. She doesn't understand what all the fuss is all about. Ricochet is nothing special, and Black is ordinary. She goes on with the insults, and Ricochet points to their recent non-title win over Raw Tag Team Champions, The Revival. They go on, and Black promises to make Rusev and Nakamura fade to black tonight. As Lana walks off, we go to the ring, and out comes the U.S. Champion R-Truth with Carmella. R-Truth is out for a U.S. Open Challenge. We go to commercial. And we get another triple threat match. Back from the break now, announcers lead us to the 2019 Hall of Fame video package for the Honky Tonk Man. We go to the ring, and the U.S. Champion R-Truth is with Carmella for his U.S. Open Challenge. Truth cuts a promo, and out comes Andrade with Zelina. They head to the ring, but Rey Mysterio runs down and attacks, taking it to the ring. Truth calls for them to stop and asks why we can't all just get along. Truth says he's at a crossroads. He doesn't know who to face. He asks what would John Cena do. Carmelo says Cena would face them both. Would face both of his opponents at once. Truth says, damn, Cena is brave. Truth was thinking more like no thank you to both potential challengers. Truth says he's going to make Cena proud. Let's do the triple threat. The bell rings, and Andrade nails Rey with a big drop kick. R-Truth comes over, but Rey sends Andrade out of the ring. Truth and Rey go at it now. Truth drops Rey for a 2 count. Andrade ends up powerbombing Truth out to the floor. Rey with a baseball slide. Rey goes to side back, out on his chest. But Andrade hit him in midair with a kick, and Rey lands hard on the floor with R-Truth. We go to replays. Back from the break, Rey springboards in off the top and takes Andrade off Truth's shoulders with a big move. The crowd pops, and Zelina can't believe it at ringside. Rey and Truth go at it now. They collide and go down. Andrade delivers knees to the corner on Rey and goes to do the same to Truth, but Truth moves. Truth works over Andrade over now. Truth drops Andrade with a clothesline and then a scissors kick as Carmella cheers him on. Truth with a flying forearm in the corner. Truth slams Andrade and calls for Cena's 5-knuckle shuffle. Truth does it for a 2 count. Truth scoops Andrade, and Vega gets up on the apron to help him for a distraction. Carmella runs over and yanks Vega off the apron. Andrade sends Truth to the ring post. Rey flies in at Andrade and sends him into the ropes for the 619. Rey goes for the 619, but Andrade avoided it. Rey nails a big boot. Andrade levels Rey with a big back elbow for a close 2 count. More back and forth between Rey and Andrade. Truth comes back into the Miz. Rey nails the 619 to Andrade. Truth immediately comes from behind and rolls Rey up for the pin to retain. Winner of the match and still champion R-Truth. After the match, Truth celebrates as the music hits. He grabs the title and leaves with Carmella as Rey looks on. Andrade recovers and comes from behind, decking Rey. Andrade goes for the hammerlock DDT, but Rey avoids it. Rey goes to follow up, but Andrade retreats to the floor with Vega. Rey's music hits. Still to come, Kofi and Owens versus Bryan and Rowan. Also, Ricochet and Blank versus Rusev and Nakamura. We see Charlotte Flair walking backstage. We go to commercial. Back from the break, and we see what happened earlier with Vince McMahon changing the Fastlane main event. We go to the ring. Out comes Charlotte to somewhat of a hometown pop. We see what happened on Raw with Ronda Rousey, Stephanie McMahon, and Becky Lynch. Flair takes the mic and talks about Vince McMahon saving WrestleMania 35 match for the Raw Women's title by putting her in it place of Lynch. Fans chant for Becky, and Flair asks if they're done yet. Flair goes on putting herself over, taking shots at Rousey and Lynch. Flair says she does everything asked of her, and she always delivers. Fans give her the What treatment? Flair goes on about Rousey and Becky's scared for her. Flair announces that she is the true champion. Flair says that she will be on Raw next Monday and she's going to show up so Vince can crown the new Raw Women's Champion. Someone who deserves it? Your Queen, Charlotte Flair. Flair deserves a you chant to a mixed reaction as her music hits. Still to come, Owens and Kobe versus Bryan and Rowan for your main event. Ricochet and Alexander Black versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. We got a ring out first. Comes Aleister Black from NXT. Ricochet was out next. Also to a pop, we get a video package for Black History Month and a commercial break. Back from the break, Rusev is out to the ring with Lana. Shinsuke Nakamura was also out. Nakamura starts off with Black as they tangle in the ropes. Nakamura yells at Black to bring it, and they run the ropes. Black ducks a kick and takes a seat on the apron. Taunting Nakamura, Black ends up in control on the mat. Black tags Ricochet in, and they unload with double team on Nakamura for a 2 count. Nakamura turns around and takes out Ricochet's knee. Rusev tags in and unloads on Ricochet with stomps while he's down. Rusev drops Ricochet with a big right hand and kicks him around. Taunting him, Nakamura tags back in for a double team. Nakamura keeps Ricochet grounded as Lana looks on. Nakamura gives drives knees into Ricochet and tags Rusev back in. Rusev with a big suplex on Ricochet for a 2 count. Ricochet finally gets some offense in and makes it to Black for the tag. Nakamura also tags in it and they go at it. Black gets the upper hand as the fans pop for his name. Rusev runs interference, allowing Nakamura to send Black out of the ring. Rusev tags back in and levels Black on the floor. Rusev stands tall over Black as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Rusev is in control of Black after interference from Lana. Rusev with a big kick to the back of Ricochet, who waits for a tag. Rusev stomps on Black's hand and taunts him. Black tries to fight back, but Rusev knocks him into the corner. Rusev with a bear hug in the middle of the ring. Ragdoll by Black. Black fights out and fights back, but Rusev drops him to the mat with ease. Rusev scoots Black, but he counters and falls on top of Rusev. Ricochet tags in and nails Rusev in the air. Ricochet unloads with offense and knocks Nakamura off the apron with a kick. Ricochet then springboards in with a big uppercut and a standing moonsault for a 2 count. As Lana screams for Rusev to kick out. Ricochet goes to the top but lands on his feet as Rusev mocks. Ricochet avoids the Machka kick. Ricochet counters again, but Rusev drives him down with a big side slam for a close 2 count. Rusev yells, "Good night, rookies," and they look to put Ricochet away. Rusev stomps Ricochet for the accolade, but Ricochet avoids it. They trade shots, and in comes Nakamura for some double teaming. Ricochet elbows Nakamura and sends Rusev over the top rope to the floor. Black tags in and pulls the rope down as Ricochet flies over to take Rusev down on the outside. Black and Nakamura go at it now. As Nakamura with a reverse exploder, Nakamura waits for Kinshasa, but Black drops to the top rope. Alright, they trade shots and in comes Nakamura for the double team. Ricochet elbows Nakamura and sends Rusev over the top to the floor. Black tags in and pulls the top rope down as Ricochet flies over to take Rusev down on the outside. Black and Nakamura go at it. Nakamura with a reverse exploder. Nakamura waits for the Kinshasa, but Black drops him with a black mass. As he charged in, Black covers Nakamura for the pin to win. After the match, Ricochet and Black celebrates as Black's music hits. Kayla Brax is backstage with AJ Styles for an interview. Styles starts off by saying he's happy to hear Roman Reigns is in remission. Kayla brings up how AJ has been a cornerstone of SmackDown for 4 years, and he has described himself as everything from a ferocious pit bull to a family man. She asks about his role in the rise of Daniel Bryan and says people are saying he's in the slump for the first time in his career. AJ says his own March critic, and nothing can be said that he hasn't said himself. He goes on about setting his own standards and how they push him to be his best. AJ says sometimes, as of late, he won't stop trying. It took him 15 years just to get to WWE, and he was never given anything. He's going to stop listening to the critics, pick himself up, and dust himself off. Fight the next challenger and keep fighting to justify his claim that this is the house that he built. Randy Orton appears on screen, and Orton asks the house that AJ Styles wants. As Orton walks off, as AJ watches, we go to the ring. Out comes Lacey Evans. She walks down the ramp to the ringside area, very similar to what she did on Raw. Got halfway down and then headed right back to the back. As we go to commercial, back from the break, the announcers hype the tournament on WWE 205 Live to crown a WrestleMania 35 challenger for WWE Cruiserweight Champion Buddy Murphy. The announcers show us a video package with the highlights from Roman Reigns' return on Raw, announcing that he is in remission from his second battle with leukemia. Kofi and Kevin versus Daniel and Rowan. We go to the ring for tonight's main event. Out first comes the New Day, Kofi and Big E and Xavier. Kofi hits the corner to pose as we go back to commercial. Back from the break, WWE Champion Daniel Bryan and Rowan are finishing up their entrance. Kevin Owens was also out. Looks like Kofi is starting out with Bryan, but Rowan tags in to start. Bryan overpowers and sends Kofi to the mat. Bryan applauds him. Kofi tries again and gets slammed hard. Rowan misses in the corner and Kofi unloads with kicks. Rowan looks to turn it around and Owens tags himself in. There's some tension with Kofi already. Owens and Rowan go at it. Unloading in the middle of the ring, Rowan drops Owens and yells out. Owens fires back out of the corner, beats Rowan into the opposite corner. Rowan runs into a boot. They run the ropes and Rowan delivers a drop kick for a 2 count. Rowan tags in Bryan and holds Owens for a cheap shot. Owen tags back in and levels Bryan. Owen plays to the crowd for a pop. Owen takes Bryan to the corner and works him over. Kofi tags in for some double teaming and a 2 count on Bryan. Kofi goes on and sends Bryan over the top rope to the floor. Kofi takes in Owens and Owens launches himself over the top rope to Bryan on the floor. Taking him back down, we go to commercial. Back from the break, Rowan and Kofi are down on the mat. Rowan works Kofi over, pounds on him, keeps him grounded while talking trash. We see how Kofi was launched into the barrier by Rowan during the break. Rowan clubs Kofi to the mat again and plays to the crowd for some boos. Rowan with a backbreaker for a 2 count. Bryan tags back in and keeps Kofi down, standing on his face. Kofi fights up from the mat, but Bryan rocks him with an uppercut. Bryan talks trash and uses a second rope on Kofi as the referee counts and warns him. Bryan hits a big shot to the back, leaving Kofi down on the apron. Bryan runs the apron and delivers a low drop kick, sending Kofi out to the floor. Rowan tags back in and slams Kofi out on the floor. Rowan brings it back into the ring for a 2 count. Rowan bounces off the rope and delivers a splash in the middle of the ring for another close pin attempt. Rowan keeps Kofi grounded on the mat. Rowan lifts Kofi for a backbreaker, but slams him face first into turnbuckles instead. Bryan tags in as Rowan charges over for a cheap shot to Owens. Bryan takes Kofi up to the top and delivers a big superplex, but Kofi still kicks out at 2. Bryan immediately goes for another pin attempt. Fans are chanting for Kofi now as Bryan talks trash, keeping control. They tangle again, and this leads to Brian applying the label lock. Kobe struggles and makes it to the bottom rope just in time. Brian takes Kobe into the corner, delivers kicks. Brian with a running drop kick to the face. Brian with a second rope running drop kick. Brian goes for a third, but Kobe leaps back at him out of nowhere. Kobe with a big double stomp. Owens then reaches for the hot tag now. Owens tags himself in and unloads on Brian. Owens with a back body drop. Owens with a clothesline in the corner. Owens leaps off the second rope with a drop kick. Owens rocks Rowan on the apron and hits a senton on Brian. Rowan looks to approach, but Owens rocks him, sending him back out. Owens with a corner cannonball now. Rowan comes from behind, but Owens fights him off, sending him to the outside. Rowan comes right back to the apron, but Owens super kicks him off. Brian charges, but Owens catches him in a pop-up powerbomb for a close 2 count. Owens can't believe he kicked out. Brian goes back to the top for the frog splash, but Rowan pulls him off. Rowan tosses Owens over the announce table. Kobe leaps out of the ring, but Rowan catches him in midair. Kobe slides. Little things, but will not get out of control. Can't hear what they're saying. SmackDown goes off the air with Owens and Kobe in the ring. 205 Live results, round 1, night 1 of the Cruiserweight Championship #1 contender tournament. Winner faces Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania 35. Callisto versus Tony Nese versus Brian Kendrick versus Drew Gulak. And then there were 14. With the departure from the company of TJP, that's your number 2. And Noam Dar's seemingly permanent move to NXT UK. The 205 Live active roster is starting to look thin on the ground. This isn't the first time the Purple Brand has had its back against them all. However, coincidentally, the Cruiserweight Championship tournament this time last year was what revitalized 205 Live in a similar situation of fan disinterest. Can the same happen again this year? Wait and find out. 4 Cruiserweights will put that theory to the test tonight. Brian Kendrick takes on Drew Gulak. Callisto battles against Tony Nese in the first night of the tournament to name Buddy Murphy's WrestleMania 35 opponent. Once General Manager Jake Maverick starts this week's 205 Live with the history of tonight's competitors individually and against each other, Vic Joseph, Aiden English, and Nigel McGuinness welcome us to the proceedings. Callisto versus Tony Nese up first. The match gets underway after a pre-recorded selfie video detailing Callisto's intentions to make it all the way to WrestleMania, much to Nigel McGuinness' disdain of course. Nese's confidence would be riding high after the emphatic victory over Noam Dar 2 weeks ago, but Callisto is one wily customer and finds himself in the championship opportunities frequently. It's a tough one to call. Nese gains the upper hand, and after an initial feeling out process with an arm drag followed by a standing arm bar, he transferred a train down towards Callisto's wrist. But the efforts of the former champion, the chance to climb to the corner and flip out of the hold, he works through a series of more avoidance maneuvers. Nese finds himself on the outside, and Callisto follows him out with a suicide headbutt. Callisto is too fast for Nese. As things stand, he is able to evade a Nese clothesline after delivering a rapid-fire strike. He charges Nese, but he charges Reese at ringside steps, but Nese regains enough composure to backflip Callisto over the stairs onto the floor. Nese is now in firm control of Callisto's back, welcomes the focal point of attack. The pair exchange chest chops, elbow strikes at the fan barrier. Callisto tries to power through, looking for her Hurricanrana, but Nese holds his strength, swinging Callisto full force into the barricade. The speed versus power game is an interesting one. considering both Callisto and Nice have significant reserves of both. So far, Callisto's lucha wrestling style is that which is coming out on top. Low gravity hurricanrana spikes Nice's head into the mat, back in the ring, stunning Nice momentarily. Instead of capitalizing on this momentum, Callisto panders to the crowd, and which allows Nice to come to. Callisto finds himself as the victim of an open palm strike atop the turnbuckle. Nice attempted to elevate an elevated German suplex, and despite Callisto's almost countering with a massive Solido del Rey, is successful. His follow-up with 450 splashes not. However, as Callisto rolls out of the way, Callisto imitates the 450 and lands it. His pin is secure, but Nice manages to get his foot on the bottom rope as the referee is inches away from counting to the 3. Callisto's fired up. Lucha chants break out. He repeatedly looked to end the match, but Nice is desperate to advance towards WrestleMania. After a succession of counters, which sees Callisto worm and wriggle out of many of Nice's power moves, Nice eventually destroys Callisto with a devastating wheelbarrow suplex. The luchador's head crashing off the bottom turnbuckle. Nice wastes no time in setting Callisto up in the bottom rope. He backs up, runs full speed, nails Callisto with a running knee. He covers him for the pin, and the referee's count to the 3 count. Winner of the match, Tony Nice to advance. Premier athlete advances to the next round of the tournament. In a previous life, Nice may not have been able to overcome the speed and willingness with which Callisto approaches his matches, but this is different. Nice, who had an answer for almost everything Callisto threw at him. A fine match, accented with an exemplary Nice performance. Buddy Murphy was watching backstage, and is soon over the moon his friend's advancement. But he is overcompensating, hiding a fear that would be in store for him should Nice make it to WrestleMania. Up next, Jack Gallagher showing Humberto Carrillo footage from his most recent match. Gallagher gives advice on what he would have done differently. Gallagher offers Carrillo a chance for more learning as they both head to presumably the gorilla position to watch Mr. Glock in the main event. Elsewhere, the Territorial is offering Brian Kendrick words of encouragement as a man with a plan faces off against his betrayer from last week. Footage is shown of Mike Kanellis' near victory over Cedric Alexander last week. Maverick is backstage with Mike and Maria. Maverick is clear that the referee's decision to reverse Kanellis' pinfall after spotting Alexander's shoulder popping up before the 3 count is final. Maverick calms him down. He tells him to go away, and he will have a match for Mike on 205 Live next week. Kanellis is seen placated, and it should be noted, though, that Maverick didn't specifically say it will be a tournament match. Okay. Footage is shown of Mike Kanellis' nearly victory of Alexander last week. Maverick is backstage with Mike and Maria. Maverick is clear that the referee's decision to reverse Kanellis' pinfall after spotting Alexander's shoulder popping up before the 3 is final. Maverick calms him down. He tells him to go home, and he will have a match for Mike on 205 Live next week. The Kanellis is seen placated. It should be noted, though, that Mavericks didn't specifically say it would be a tournament match. Brian Kendrick versus Drew Gulak. Gulak's last 205 Live match, outing was an unfortunate loss to Akira Tozawa, but despite this, Gulak always lost by defeating Tozawa's partner tonight. The start of the match is very tentative. Gulak is undoubtedly dangerous with his grappling arsenal, but Kendrick has more than enough tricks up his sleeve. Gulak eventually has Kendrick grounded with the pressure on the 3 count of his limbs. Held in unforgiving positions, Kendrick powers out as the fight or flight chemical reaction takes over. Aiden English puts in perfectly when he says this will be a chess match. So familiar are they with each other, and so storied are their previous interactions. They circle one another, unsure how to gain the upper hand. Gulak is the first to do so, as the incoming Kendrick receives an explosive German suplex for his troubles. Gulak applies a modified Boston Crab, and it looks like a bad one. Kendrick realizes the danger he is in, and he scrambles for the bottom rope. Kendrick fights out of Gulak's demonstration of various submissions with 2 arm drags, bringing Gulak to the mat with his own hold. Gulak rolls through and answers with a bar of his own. Kendrick is doing his utmost to overcome Gulak, but the Philadelphia stretcher is dominant for the majority. Kendrick resorts to brawling tactics and clotheslines and drop kicks. It's working to an extent, but his offense comes off as labored after the early German suplex. Gulak thwarts Kendrick's advances, chapping his leg behind him and delivering another German. Kendrick is in trouble. A jacket suplex from Kendrick comes out of nowhere, but Gulak is seemingly not phased as he goes up and answers with a powerful lariat. Gulak almost applies to Gulak, but Kendrick rolls backwards in a pin attempt to give him some time. Gulak kicks out, but finds himself in Kendrick's captain hook submission. All of a sudden, Gulak is in danger. He senses this as he hooks Kendrick's nose. Kendrick's hold is loosened, and Gulak earns a pin attempt after a heavy powerbomb. A series of counters and reversals ensue. Gulak kicks out of an inverted matchbook pin, affording him the chance to lock in a modified Dragon Sleeper. Kendrick has absolutely nowhere to go. He has trapped his legs, ensuring that he is truly ensnared in Gulak's hold. It's not too long before Kendrick realizes an inevitable and taps out. Gulak advances to the semifinals. A Gulak match is more often than not a great one. This was no different. His combination of submission and power wrestling is a style I hold close to my heart. Kendrick played the plucky underdog throughout, and it was a shame to see him get eliminated so early. But I personally feel Gulak has had the short straw too often on 205 Live. It's time for Gulak to, at the very least, challenge for what he deserves. As Gulak celebrated on his way up the ramp, commentary team announced next week's matches. Cedric Alexander will take on the reinvigorated Akira Tozawa, while Humberto Carrillo faces NXT's One Lorcan. Dark match after 205 Live, where this week's tapings from Spectrum Center in North Carolina saw Asuka retain the SmackDown Women's title over Charlotte Flair. Asuka won by submission with the Asuka lock. Also noted, Asuka's SmackDown segment with Mandy Rose was apparently nixed from the show, but it was announced that she will defend her title against Rose at the WWE Fastlane pay-per-view on March the 10th. And that will end my results for 205 Live and SmackDown. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one of you. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.